Good morning, students. Welcome to the live online class. We are continuing with chapter number 1, History and its Study and Sources. Last time I have explained you what is history. Today we are going to study about the topic, why do we study history? So why do we study history is something that is known as advantages of studying history. ADVANTAGES. Advantages of studying. Why do you study history? Studying history. So it is known as advantages of studying history. Now, why do we study history? Because it teaches us about the gradual change, that is the slow change in man's life, human beings' life from the past, from the early past to the present, from the prehistoric past. Prehistoric means when writing was not invented, when the people were living in the caves, etc. So from the prehistoric time to the present time, we learn about some of the discoveries and inventions that was made in the past, as well as the errors or the mistakes that was made in the past, and we have to learn from our mistakes and rectify our present. The second one is to learn about the social means what we call is a culture, a way of life in the society. So to learn about the social, cultural, as well as religious life of the people in the past. So religious life means religious belief of the people of the past to the present. So why do we study history? To learn about the achievements of kings. Achievements means the success of kings as well as queens, their accomplishment in the past, and how they influence our present and our future. Because we learn from their success and mistakes that they have done. The fourth one is history helps us to know our past mistakes. So whatever mistakes that have been done by our ancestors, we are not going to repeat that same, so that we can avoid the errors made by our ancestors, like the harmful effects of rigid caste system. Now, caste system basically started from the Vedic age, from the later Vedic age. So it started from the later Vedic age. This caste system divided the society into four groups, Four groups. They were called Sudras, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas and Brahmins. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. Sudras were the lowest class, Today also we follow this rigid caste system. According to this caste system, many evils have been prevalent in our society. Evils like untouchability, it became prominent in the olden times because of this rigid caste system, the caste system which cannot be changed. Actually, this caste system basically started from the occupation. Whatever occupation people did, according to that, the caste was divided. But later on, the people could not change their caste, and this caste system is prevalent to the present times also. It started from the past, but it is basically linked with the present also, And it also helps us to understand why wars are, basically should be avoided, or war should basically be avoided at all costs, because war basically brings not only death, it brings destruction and desolations. Number 5 is, history also tells us about our culture. Now, culture means the way of life. So, culture is coming again and again. I just want to tell you something about this culture, or a society in which we live, Culture means the knowledge of a particular group of people, like the tradition. The tradition we follow today, like the dresses we wear, the food we eat, the religion we profess or practice or propagate. The religion we follow, simple answer is that. I am a Hindu. I am following a Hindu religion. Who taught me that I should, worship these gods? This was taught by my ancestors. Last time only I told you that our past is linked with our present. Are you understanding? So culture is the knowledge of a particular group of people passed on from generation after generation. It is a way of life, belief, as well as behavior, as well as religious belief, etc. Okay? It also basically means our society. Okay? So history tells us about our culture, that is the way of life, and civilization. So civilization, what is civilization? Another word comes to our mind. S-I-V-I-L-I-Z-A-T-I-O-N, civilization. What is civilization? Now civilization means human society, okay, made up of villages, towns, cities, etc., okay, where people started to live together. This is known as, in simple words, civilization. Okay, history tells us about our culture as well as our civilization. Okay, how many civilizations were there, okay, living in the earliest past. Okay, like the Indus Valley civilization, which is also known as the Harappan civilization, okay, Mesopotamian civilization, Egyptian civilization, okay, Chinese civilization, etc. And helps us to compare or find similarities and dissimilarities between our, okay, civilization and other civilizations. So our Indus Valley civilization is found in India as well as in, okay, present day Pakistan. This civilization was similar with other civilization that is found in Egypt or Mesopotamia or China or not. These things are taught by our history, okay? Knowledge about people of different lands, okay, what they wear, what they eat, what is their occupation, what kind of homes they build, what kind of lands they have, okay, what kind of, okay, occupation, okay, they profess, etc., are told or given knowledge by our history books, okay. Knowledge about people of different lands, customs. What are the customs? That is also customs are basically tradition that has been, okay, passed on from generation after generation. The knowledge that has been passed on from generation after generation. Custom and tradition is the same thing, okay? Society and religious belief, politics, okay? Now, politics basically is basically, okay, people living in a group making a decision is known as politics, okay? And economy means trade and business, okay? What kind of business they had, what kind of politics they had, what kind of religious, okay, belief they had, what kind of society they had, as well as what kind of foreign relation they had with other countries. This is told by our history. It also helps us to learn about different events that happened in the past, okay? And incidents that happened in the past, in sequence of time or chronology, okay? Chronology means one thing after another. One thing I want to tell you, today your mother is cooking food in a gas stove. If fire was not invented in the past, do you think your mother will be cooking food today? If the wheel was not invented in the past, do you think, okay, you'll be having utensils as well as clothes, etc., as well as you driving a car? No, I don't think so. So, all these discoveries happen in the past, which is linked with the present. Today we are having this facility because of the people who have basically discovered in the past. So fire was discovered in the past, therefore your mother is cooking food in the present. So our past is always linked with the present. Remember that. Now we are moving on to methods of studying history, okay? You can follow your book, okay, from page number, okay, 1 to 2. Okay, if you have the books, otherwise I'll send the PDF file, okay, through WhatsApp. Now we are studying the second heading of history. How do we study history? Okay, method of studying history. How do we study history? An interesting question is, how we know about the things that happened in the past? It is here the role of historians come in. So, we are talking about the historians. It is the part played by the historians to tell us the history of the people of the past. Historians are people or learned people or scholars who study, okay, and write about the past history. So historians are people who study and write about the past history. But how? Have you ever thought how the historians managed to reconstruct or create the past events? For example, suppose if you have to create the event of your childhood. So if you want to create an event of your childhood, okay, you will surely depend on the photographs that you have clicked in the past, your toys which you played in your childhood, as well as the belongings that you have of your childhood. But this is not possible for the early past. How we are going to create history of the past? You can create the history of your childhood with your photographs, toys, and belongings of your childhood, but you cannot create of the past. Because in ancient times, people did not have mobile phones, cameras, etc., or other means to record their events, whatever happened at a particular point of time. In such a situation, historians depend upon a number of things that was left by the people. The people we are referring here is our ancestors. After they died, they left the things that they loved the most or they were the most. So, historians depend upon a number of things left by our ancestors, like pottery, P-O-T-T-E-R-Y, pottery. Now, this is the first word that is coming in a history. Pottery means pots. Pots means matka ka bhara, we call it, okay, or utensils made of mud. It is made of, baked mud, it is made of baked mud, etc., which is dried in the sun or basically burnt in a fire. If you have burned this mud or a pot in a fire, it can hold liquids. But if you have dried this matka ke bhara in a sun, then it can hold only solid objects. Remember that. So the things that was left in the past was pottery, then ornaments, that is jewelry, J-E-W-E-L-L-E-R-Y, jewelry. The second is jewelry, that is ornaments, utensils that was used, for serving the food, having food, etc., or cooking the food, coins and paintings, etc. So, historians depend upon these factors to reconstruct the past. Remember that. All these goods which provides us information about the past are called evidences. So, this pottery, jewelry, utensils, coin, painting are called what? E-V-I-D-E-N-C-E as evidences. Archaeological evidences. These evidences are in the form of physical remains of past human activities such as tools, instruments used by the people in the past for farming, etc., for cutting the food, cutting fruits, etc., trees, etc. These tools or instruments or objects that was used by the people of the earliest past, and even the weapons and even the fossils that have been basically found buried under the ground, rocks, pots, coins, historical ruins. Now, historical ruins are basically monuments, the old buildings of the past which has been built by our ancestors, are called archaeological sources. These evidences are called what? A-R-C-H-A-E-O-L-O-G-I-C-A-L. Archaeological, S-O-U-R-C-E-S, sources. Remember that. But not only historians basically develop our knowledge about history, the experts who dig these objects from inside the earth, historians basically learn from these objects what they used. But the people who basically found these objects are another people. The experts who dig these objects from buried under the ground. So these experts who dig the earth, to find these objects buried inside the ground are basically called archaeologists. They put together a picture of the past of the man. By analyzing these objects, whereas historians study these objects and write history. So in the study of history, archaeology is of great help. Archaeology is defined as the scientific study of past culture. So archaeology means the study of past history, okay, based on the things left by the people in the past. Hope you find this lesson useful. Thank you for listening.